This has never happened before. The US began looking for a new president. As we know, the majority in the House of Representatives, it belongs to the Republicans now, and they're going to probe into Biden and his family and illegal activities. And this is today's news by RIA Novosti, November 18. Mikhail Katkov, after the midterm elections in Congress, Donald Trump has become a fifth wheel for the Republicans. To remedy the situation, he decided to run for president again. That's why he was vilified not only by Democrats but also some of his colleagues who have already found a new favorite. And here in the article by Novosti about why America will not be great and the second coming. Speaking at his Florida mansion, Trump said he intends to make America not just great but glorious after he wins the election in 2024. The country, in his view, is in decline because Joe Biden's administration was a period of hardship and despair. The ex-president's enthusiasm, Donald Trump, after announcing his candidacy for the U.S. presidency, he had enthusiasm, and it's not shared by his relatives either. Specifically, Ivanka Trump. She eventually retired from politics because raising 3 children is more important than helping her 76-year-old father realize his ambitions for power. Her husband, Jared Kushner, who was on the 2016 campaign, has also not joined Trump's current team. 3 major cable news networks, CNN, Fox News, and MSNBC, censored the newly elected candidate's speech. The first 2 cut over an hour, leaving only what he said about the presidential inauguration. MSNBC did not show it at all in prime time, instead airing an interview with one of his rivals, Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer. Biden posted a short video on Twitter listing his predecessor's main accomplishments: building a pro-rich economy, setting record unemployment, trying to destroy the healthcare system, flirting with extremists, violating women's rights. Trump has hurt America, not made it great, claims the sitting President Joe Biden. Republicans blame their leader for the failure of the party that could have taken control of both houses of parliament but settled for an 8-seat margin in the House of Representatives. In addition, Trump and his associates are at risk of involvement in criminal cases related to seeking witnesses to alleged fraud in the 2020 election, mishandling classified documents, tax fraud, and lobbying officials. Meanwhile, Trump himself fueled inflated Republican midterm expectations. As a result, they decided that a red wave would literally take the donkeys out of Congress on November 8th. However, the elephants bet their campaign on Biden's inability to deal with the economic crisis, while he stabilized the situation and lowered gasoline prices. I'm sorry about my voice, I have a cold. Everybody, half the people in Europe have a cold now. Now, the Republican alternative. It's too early to write Trump off. First, he has enough money to finance a presidential campaign. It's also quite popular, gathering thousands of people. And according to AP Vodcast polls, 66% of Republicans consider themselves supporters of the Make America Great Again movement. However, in one key state, New Hampshire, only 30% of voters want Trump in their presidential candidate. In his own state of Florida, the figure is 33. Besides, the elephants have other options. For example, 44-year-old Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. Previously, the state was seen as swinging between Democrats and Republicans, but on November 8, Ron won nearly 60% of the vote. Even the media loyal to the Democratic Party recognize that Florida has become a red bastion. DeSantis has been described as the Trump for those who can read. Unlike the former president, he rose from the bottom. His mother was a nurse, his father a civil servant, but that did not stop him from graduating from Yale and Harvard. A study at the Club for Growth found that in Iowa and New Hampshire, where the first primaries will be held in early 2024, DeSantis leads Trump by 10 and 15%, respectively. In Florida, the state governor leads in 26%. Indeed, nationally, Trump has 47%, while DeSantis has 33%. Another possible contender is 63-year-old Mike Pence, the former vice president. Pence distanced himself from his boss after refusing to concede defeat in the 2020 election, convinced that America deserves a better head of state than Trump. In theory, Pence could garner the support of centrist Republicans, but his numbers have yet to be tallied. Registration distance. According to experts poll by Novosti, Trump's chances of winning the internal party primaries are low, let alone the presidential election itself. However, a lot could change in 2 years. Against Trump is his age and his scandalous reputation. If he competes with someone like Biden, his victory is still realistic in the battle of gerontocrats, but a new candidate like DeSantis will break him, says American Alexei Chernyayev. On the other hand, Trump's candidacy will not allow DeSantis a breather after the gubernatorial election. The former president decided to enter the race as early as possible to rally around him Republicans who questioned his leadership skills. And Donald Trump speaks at rallies in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. Yuri Rogulev, director of Franklin Roosevelt Foundation for American Studies, points out 2 years is a very long time. Nothing like this has ever happened before. Such a campaign would require a lot of money and is also likely to radically change the news landscape. The slogans that are relevant today will not interest anyone at the end of the road, explained the expert. In general, according to his estimate, Trump's popularity has always been 36 to 44%. However, it is a huge disapproval rating. The country is actually divided in two. RIA Novosti's interloculators believe that Trump could have lost even the first presidential election if Hillary Clinton, who is also disliked by many, had taken her opponent seriously enough, and in 2024 he will have much more dangerous opponents. I've translated this for you from a Greek article. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. I'm sorry for my cold and my voice. Thank you. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.